Which principle under GDPR requires data controllers to implement appropriate technical and organizational measures to ensure data protection by design and by default? A. Data minimization. B. Integrity and confidentiality. C. Accountability. D. Privacy by design and default. Correct answer: D. Privacy by design and default. Under GDPR, an individual's right to be forgotten allows them to have their personal data erased under certain conditions. Which of the following is not one of those conditions? A. The data no longer serves the original purpose for which it was collected. B. The individual withdraws consent and there is no other legal ground for processing. C. The data was unlawfully processed. D. The individual simply prefers not to have the data processed, with no specific reason. Correct answer: D. The individual simply prefers not to have the data processed, with no specific reason. A company based in the EU uses a cloud service provider in the United States to process personal data. Under GDPR, what is required for this transfer of data to be compliant? A. The cloud service provider must have a physical office in the EU. B. The data subjects must be informed about the data transfer. C. The cloud service provider must be part of the EU-US Privacy Shield framework. D. Adequate safeguards, such as standard contractual clauses, must be in place. Correct answer: D. Adequate safeguards, such as standard contractual clauses, must be in place. Which GDPR article specifically addresses the processing of personal data for direct marketing purposes as a legitimate interest? A. Article 6(1) F. B. Article 22(c). Article 7(d). Article 21. Correct answer: A. Article 6(1) F. In GDPR, which authority is primarily responsible for overseeing the application of data protection laws within a specific member state? A. The European Data Protection Supervisor, EDPS. B. The European Data Protection Board, EDPB. C. The National Data Protection Authority, DPA. D. The Information Commissioner's Office, ECO, applicable only in the UK. Correct answer: C. The National Data Protection Authority, DPA. A multinational company with headquarters in the EU is evaluating its data protection practices. It processes data across various countries, including some outside the EU. According to GDPR, what role is specifically designed to provide advice on data protection impact assessments, DPIAs, and monitor compliance with the GDPR? A. Data Protection Officer, DPO. B. Chief Information Security Officer, CISO. C. Data Controller. D. Data Processor. Correct answer: A. Data Protection Officer, DPO. Under GDPR, when must a Data Protection Impact Assessment, DPIA, be conducted? A. Before any personal data is processed. B. Only if the processing involves sensitive data. C. When processing is likely to result in a high risk to the rights and freedoms of natural persons. D. Annually, as a routine compliance check. Correct answer: C. When processing is likely to result in a high risk to the rights and freedoms of natural persons. A European tech company plans to launch a new app that uses location data to provide personalized travel recommendations. Under GDPR, what must the company ensure before processing the location data? A. Obtain explicit consent from the users for the specific purpose of location-based recommendations. B. Make the app available only to users who agree to share their location data. C. Share the location data with third parties to improve the app's recommendations. D. Store the location data on servers located within the EU only. Correct answer: A. Obtain explicit consent from the users for the specific purpose of location-based recommendations. According to GDPR, what rights do individuals have regarding automated decision-making, including profiling? A. The right to be informed of automated decision-making but not to object to it. B. The right to request human intervention, express their point of view, and contest the decision. C. The right to opt out of profiling but not other forms of automated decision-making. D. The right to have automated decisions based only on anonymous data. Correct answer: B. The right to request human intervention, express their point of view, and contest the decision. A data subject requests access to their personal data from a company. According to GDPR, within how many days must the company respond to this request? A. 30 days. B. 60 days. C. 90 days. D. The company can set its own deadline as long as it is reasonable. Correct answer: A. 30 days. Under GDPR, what constitutes a lawful basis for processing personal data? A. The data subject's consent only. B. Processing is necessary for the performance of a contract to which the data subject is party. C. Processing is necessary for compliance with a legal obligation. D. B and C are both correct lawful bases for processing. Correct answer: D. B and C are both correct lawful bases for processing. In the context of GDPR, which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of data minimization? A. A social media company collects extra data from users for potential future services. B. A healthcare app only collects health data necessary for providing personalized health advice. C. An online retailer keeps customer purchase histories indefinitely to analyze shopping trends. D. A marketing firm collects extensive demographic information for targeted advertising campaigns. Correct answer. B. A healthcare app only collects health data necessary for providing personalized health advice. A company is considering transferring personal data from the EU to a country outside the EEA. Which of the following is not a mechanism to ensure the transfer complies with GDPR? A. Binding corporate rules, BCRs. B. Adequacy decisions. C. The EU-US Privacy Shield Framework. D. Standard contractual clauses, SCCs. Correct answer. C. The EU-US Privacy Shield Framework. What is the primary role of the European Data Protection Board, EDPB, under GDPR? A. To enforce GDPR across all EU member states. B. To provide guidance and clarity on the application of GDPR. C. To act as the data protection authority in member states. D. To process complaints from data subjects about GDPR violations. Correct answer. B. To provide guidance and clarity on the application of GDPR. Under GDPR, in what circumstance can an organization process personal data without the data subject's consent? A. When the organization deems it necessary for marketing purposes. B. When processing is necessary for the performance of a contract with the data subject. C. When the data is anonymized and used for statistical analysis. D. When the data subject has previously provided consent for a different processing activity. Correct answer. B. When processing is necessary for the performance of a contract with the data subject. An EU citizen discovers their personal data is being processed by a company without their consent. Under GDPR, what is the first step they should take to address this issue? A. File a lawsuit against the company. B. Request the company to erase their personal data immediately. C. Contact the National Data Protection Authority in their country. D. Demand compensation from the company for unauthorized data processing. Correct answer. C. Contact the National Data Protection Authority in their country. A company's marketing department wants to use customer email addresses obtained from warranty registrations to send promotional emails. Under GDPR, what must the company do to comply? A. Automatically opt in all customers who provided their email for warranty purposes. B. Ensure the email content is strictly related to the products registered. C. Obtain explicit consent from the customers for marketing communications. D. Provide an opt-out option in the warranty registration form. Correct answer. C. Obtain explicit consent from the customers for marketing communications. Which GDPR provision requires organizations to notify the relevant supervisory authority of a personal data breach within 72 hours of becoming aware of it, where feasible? A. Article 33B, Article 32C, Article 31D, Article 34. Correct answer. A. Article 33. A data controller in the EU engages a data processor located outside the EU. According to GDPR, what must the data controller ensure regarding the data processor's practices? A. The data processor has a GDPR compliance certification. B. The data processor processes the data within the EU. C. The data processor implements appropriate security measures in line with GDPR requirements. D. The data processor only engages with EU-based sub-processors. Correct answer. C. The data processor implements appropriate security measures in line with GDPR requirements. Under GDPR, what is the maximum fine for companies that infringe on the basic principles for processing, including conditions for consent? A. 10 million euros or 2% of the company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher. B. 20 million euros or 4% of the company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher. C. 5 million euros or 1% of the company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher. D. There is no maximum fine. It is determined on a case-by-case basis. Correct answer. B. 20 million euros or 4% of the company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher.